Blackstone presents The Laird's Guardian Angel by Eliza Knight. This book is read by Antony Ferguson. Prologue. There was magic in sleeping out of doors, peeking at the stars before nightfall, merriment at being at a massive celebratory festival, especially on the 1st of May. Music tinkled throughout the day, cascading into the night. The feasts were endless, the fountains of cider ever-flowing. But there was also discomfort, because sleeping in a tent with her family and servants meant no privacy. Not that a young lady was ever really alone. Lady Calliope Ramsay, all of 6 years old, stepped from her tent at the Beltane Festival, which had brought dozens of neighbouring clans for a week of celebrating and games. Shivers coursed over her skin at the chill in the morning air. Her bare toes stepped into the crispy morning grass, the dew frozen from the night before. As her tiny toes crunched against the grass, she contemplated turning back around to grab her slippers. But she was in such need of relief that if she were to do so, she very likely wouldn't make it to the cover of the woods to empty her bladder. Papa wouldn't abide an accident, and really, she was too old for such. The first rays of the sun took the bite off the coolness of the morning. She'd been waiting hours to go, not wanting to trip over those sleeping on the floor to reach the shared chamber part. Mamma had told her not to have that last cup of cider, but the sweetness of the apples had been entirely too tempting. They never had cider at home. Calliope tucked her dressing gown closer, the fabric not as thick as her cloak, and peeked around the other tents, glad she'd woken before anyone else appeared to be. Her father, the Earl of Ramsay, would kill her if he knew she was walking out like this, barely clothed. No shoes on her bare feet. But yesterday, when the young lasses were dancing around the maypole, they'd all been barefoot, and their linen white gowns looked very much like night clothes. And perhaps it was silly of her, maybe even reckless, but Calliope was a bit of a daredevil. Well, at least when no one else was looking. She preferred to act out her tiny rebellions without getting caught. A lady had to be quiet about such things. As her mother, Countess Mary Ramsay, had taught her, a lady was refined in all ways, subdued. Even when showing her talents, she had to do so quietly. Playing the viola, for example, she could only do soft, soothing music, nothing that might bring about excitement. Dancing, too, had to be slow, barely lifting her limbs. Just the barest hint of a sway.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?